right, so I'm heading over to Montgomery to Alabama Steel. Got to get some structural metal for my fab work on the frame and on the body and whatever else I can find. Alabama Steel Supply. Let's see what they've got. All right, we got our steel. There it is. 2 by 3 inch square tubing, 3/16 wall thickness. We're good to go. Hey, so it's December 21st. We're in the shop and I've got the frame pretty much all stripped down, and I didn't record any of that because you don't need to watch me dismantle a Jeep. But I just want to show you kind of what we've got going on here. So pretty much just the chassis consists of the frame and the axles right now. So I'm just getting set up to get this cut today. And in preparation for that, I've gone ahead and removed the back two body mounts. We're about right here on the Wrangler. So I took those off already, smoothed that out, and just shot some primer over that. So we're gonna make our cut through here somewhere. We're gonna figure that out here in just in a second. Probably just right in front of this control arm bracket, because this is gonna be coming off anyway once I get my long arms and everything installed. So that'll come off later. But I've got my tubing cut. So I've got a couple pieces of 2 by 3, 3/16 wall square tubing. And this is pretty much exactly the width of the frame here. So that should slide up in here nicely. So this, we're choosing this section here because it's pretty much straight, and for the most part parallel to the other side. And so that's why we're going to be making our cuts here to lengthen this chassis. I took another piece of tubing the same length, and I just cut a 1/2 inch off of it because the height of the frame on the inside is almost exactly 3.5 inches. And so I'm going to tack that on there, so that should fit in there nice and tight. All right, so I've got 2 pieces there. We are going to be putting 13 inches into this frame. My buddy Mike here has helped me with kind of coming up with that measurement as far as the front wheel placement with the body that's going to be going on this chassis, which we'll be revealing that sometime soon. And so we're working in his shop as well, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the ability to do this. He's got a phenomenal shop. He's got some great cars in here, some real classics, and so we'll do kind of a walkthrough on some of his cars in a later video, and we'll introduce Mike here shortly. He had to run up to the house for a second, and he'll be back down. But it's kind of a rainy, cold day here in Alabama, and this is just a great place to work. So I can't say enough. Thanks, Mike, for allowing me to occupy your space here and use your know-how and your resources, because it's really going to add to this project, and I know it's going to come out great. So we're going to get, I've got some pieces of tubing, 1 inch square tubing here cut already that I'm going to tack on basically both sides here of the chassis on either side of the cut. So when we split this in half, we can just walk it back. It'll be the same height, and we can just get ready to slide the inserts in and get them tacked in place once we get the dimensions correct. All right, so we're going to get going here. in a little bit, and we'll take y'all along and kind of show you how we're doing this, and you know, so hopefully it'll help somebody else out there that's maybe wanting to do this. And again, we're going to do the reveal as far as what vehicle is going to go on this chassis sometime soon. Still driving it, still enjoying it at the moment, so I don't want to start dismantling it yet, but they'll be coming soon. All right, we're gonna get busy. All right, so it's my distinct pleasure to introduce to the channel Mustang Mike.
How you guys doing?
This is my man, and without him, this build will not be happening. He's been gracious enough to allow me to use the shop. So Mike, thank you very much.
Yeah, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Yep, it's fun.
You're gonna be seeing him around a whole lot on the channel. He's got some awesome builds going on right now. We're gonna do we'll do some special episodes on some of his stuff that he's got going on. He's a car guy, been a car guy for a long time. I'm glad that we got to know each other and we met, because we're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff coming up here. So thanks again, Mike.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm going to be cutting this frame with a Sawzall, but we started out with our square lines, just cutting through the top of the frame with a cutting disc, so it's nice and true, and then that'll allow the Sawzall blade to start in that gap, and then hopefully be nice and square all the way through. So we've already cut that on both sides. So thanks, Mike, for that idea. Good suggestion.
Yeah, that's like very balancing. All right. Haha.
That's something you see every day, huh?
No.
See how far we go in.
Hey, what? I think we're going to mark center line on those.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean these up, and I'm gonna weld that cap on there as well, so it builds it up some.
Yeah, of course this thing. What do you think I was doing?
Yeah.
What? No way.
This? I'm gonna let you finish this. I'm gonna go to lunch.
What we'll do though, before when we get it all in, because of the play, right? We've got this wiggle.
Yeah.
So we've got to make sure our crosses before we even do a single weld.
All right, real quick, I just want to kind of show what I've done here before I get this sleeve in here and get this welded up. So I've drilled 5 holes on either side for the plug welds, and these are all 7/16 in diameter on the inside of the frame as well. I did have some corrosion in here, but I have sprayed some OSPO in there, and then I coated it with some Port 15. in both sections. So hopefully that's gonna encapsulate that and seal that off, and I won't have any continuation of any corrosion on the inside. All right, so I've got the cap kind of welded on top of the square tubing. So that's kind of how that came out. So it'll pretty much kind of fill the majority of the inside of the frame. So it fits in there nicely. All right, I got my pieces in, we got it clamped, and everything seems to be square. I've got 13 inches, well, I got 13 and 3/16, just counting for the curve cuts on either side. But that doesn't really matter very much. But got it clamped. I've got my basically witness marks on either side. I've got marks, and so I've got a square box measuring diagonally from those witness marks here. And so this center area is square, well, within about a 16th. I think it's about a 16th off, but I think I can chase that all day. And that's not gonna really make that big a difference. We've got the back supported with a jack, just so it doesn't wanna tip back at all. You know, the square tubing that I got welded on to the frame is contacting the floor on both sides. So we're ready to get this thing tacked up and final welded. Okay, I think we're about finished up here. Got the plug welds in, inside and outside, both sides. I've got this basically a double fillet weld on the ends. Put some Pour 15 just on this rough piece of tubing, because that's going to be ultimately covered by a smaller 18 gauge piece that's going to, you know, basically going to cover all this. So this outside of the frame is going to be nice and finished. So that's where we are. Came out good, I think. Everything's still true, square. Happy with it. Back together.
I'm